Hey everyone, welcome back to the Straight Facts Unmatched Experience. I'm your host, Straight Facts Unmatched, and I'm back with another video. I just like to say I do appreciate you guys for taking time out your day, listening to what I have to say. You guys are so awesome, and I do appreciate the support. If you are new, I would just like to say welcome. I do appreciate you for subscribing to the channel. If you've been hitting that like button for your girl, I do appreciate you for hitting that like button, okay? Y'all have been great to me, good to me. And like I said, I do appreciate all of y'all. Okay, so let's go ahead and get off into this video. So I wanted to get out here and talk about this live that Jasmine just did. I guess she felt a little froggy, so she decided to leave. So she got on here and she was demanding likes. You know, she likes to take on other people's personalities when she does certain things. She has no identity whatsoever, but she says that she has transparency. And I have no understanding, and she wants somebody to make something make sense. So let me go ahead and make something make sense for you, sis, real quick. Okay, so she wants to talk about what's weak when she's actually the weakest link. So I'm gonna tell you what's weak, Jasmine. It's weak for a mother of 5 to put a bum before her children. That's what's weak. It's weak for a mother to get on here and dry bag about what she needs for her kids. That's what's weak. What's weak is when a mother decides to hit that live button before she feeds her children. That's what's weak. What's weak is when a woman decides to take her kids out in public with their hair not combed and them looking unkept. That's what's weak. What is weak is when you have your kids confined in a room where there's blinking, flashing, and flickering lights that's on and off that can cause seizures, headaches, nausea, vomiting, and neuro problems and other things that you have no idea because you're locking them up and confining them off in one room as if like they don't have their own rooms. And I'm talking about Kaylin and Amaya. Those twins could be off in their room with that door open and the lights on. I have no understanding why you have not found the remote to turn those lights off. You sat there the other day and said that you did not know where the remote was at, but now all of a sudden, oh, they're able to turn them off. But every time you enter into that room, those lights are flickering on and off. Now you make that make sense. Let me also tell you what's weak. What's weak is that you're not able to afford your kid's formula. So therefore now you're trying to say, oh, he's actually eating food to try to say that that's what's compensating him from consuming something because he's not really drinking the milk like that. So why is he not drinking his milk like when he's supposed to continue to keep drinking that milk until he turns 1 year old? I have no understanding. I have none whatsoever. And you're giving him water. Oh, really? The doctor told you that that was something that you should do? I mean, maybe a little bit of water if that's what you feel like. But you know what, Jasmine? You probably giving them a whole bottle of water. Just like those bottles. What's weak is that those bottles were all in that crib with half milk off in them still. And then you want to talk about him wasting milk? No, you probably just be propping that bottle up. And then he can't drink the rest of it because it's done rolled off from under him or whatever the case may be. And you just let him lay there until he fall asleep. That's why there was 1, 2, 3 bottles with milk in them. And you talking about he's wasting them? No, you're not properly feeding them. That's what's weak. What's weak is that you never addressed who you were talking about in the video. If it's not directed, it's not respected. So, honey, who were you speaking to? If you say you was getting on there to talk your shit, then how come you didn't talk your shit and say who you was talking about, bitch? Because I need to understand this. You said make it make sense. Well, I'm going to make it make sense for you, sis. Because what you got on her was weak. Because if it doesn't bother you, then why are you on here entertaining it in the first place? What happened to your depression? What happened to your anxiety? You're out of it? So what's weak is that you bought all of that food just for Christopher Hips to make it for you and dip while you sat at that table by yourself eating your supposedly Mother's Day dinner from the hired help. That's what's weak. What's weak is that you sat on the floor in your bathroom on 12/26 saying that you couldn't even feed your kids. That's what's weak. What's weak is that you got on her said that you were defending your child from being talked about, but yet you done called Amaya a bitch and told her that she was ugly and stupid and a liar. But that's how you feel about yourself. That's what's weak, to tell a 3-year-old that type of shit. That's what's weak. What's weak is that you say that you was with a man for 15 years, but he have 10 kids and you only have 4 of his. Let's be clear. Make that make sense. What's weak is that you knew that he was out going to different women's houses. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home, and babies were brought home. That's what's weak. What's weak is that you always have these excuses for this bum that's not helping you and making you a single mom while he's in there coming and going as he pleases, but he's not respecting the needs of your depression and your anxiety. So you want to talk about what's weak? What's weak is that you choose to be a piss poor mom and you choose to be unfit. What's weak is that you're unstable and you choose to be that too. You don't even choose to follow up with the special needs that your children have to see they get evaluated so that they can make it through life and thrive, so they don't need you when they get older. What's weak is that you done picked a bum over your mom when she's done been there for you time and time and time and time again when you were in need and you needed a friend to go get you some milk for your son at the grocery store because you didn't have none. Bitch, that's what's weak. What's weak is that you had gotten evicted while you were with a man in your home and you had to go stay with your mother. That's what's weak. What's weak is that your mama had to come and get you to help you with your tire because your man was nowhere in sight to come help you when you were stranded on the side of the road. That's what's weak. You couldn't even call on him to help you. You couldn't even call him when you was in need. That's weak. What's weak is that when your kids' birthday parties come rolling around, you have nothing for them but just simple things and try to chalk it up to, oh, I don't have to do this because I'm a content creator. No, bitch, you should do it because you're a mother. It has nothing to do with you being a content creator. It has all to do with you not being a piss poor mother and being a mother to your children, and see to it that they get exactly what they need or what they want when their birthday come. But when that bum birthday came, oh, you went all out. You gave money. You did all types of shout outs. But when it comes to your kids, you do the bare minimum, bitch. And then you wonder why I call you the weakest link, because that's what you are. So you said you got on here to defend your kids, but yeah, you have your kids on here without their consent. Make that make sense. Exploiting them for nickels, pennies, and dimes, because bitch, you ain't making no real money. You ain't putting in no real time. You can have 50,000 subscribers here and however many subscribers elsewhere, but you been on here for 10 years and you ain't making no real racks, my dear. None. You're not. Okay? It's just enough to pay the bills, and then you have to get on here and panhandle your subscribers. That's what's weak. What's weak is that you always complain about anxiety and depression, but you want another baby. But you can't even get out of bed to comb your hair, brush your teeth, or wash your ass, let alone feed your other kids. But you want another baby. That's what's weak, bitch. You want to talk about what's weak? Is that there's a whole lot of videos that incriminate you that you uploaded on YouTube from your YouTube channel that's supposed to be a family channel that's on My Shabby Life. And you still doing the same thing you were doing 5 years ago today. That's what's weak. What's weak is that you took all your tax money and spent it on that bum just for him to come and go as he please, son, and he don't have to tell you where he is really. He can lie to you and make your ass look silly by getting her talking about Chris is at work. Bitch, that's weak. You lying about him being at work is weak. You knowing that you a single mama 5 with a live-in boyfriend that you're paying just to come on live and say Chris is at work is weak. For him to only show you any type of affection or any type of attention when you have money or something to give him, that's weak. For him to not express his love like you express your love for him, how you always telling him that he's sexy, but he never tells you that you're sexy in front of your enablers, your subscribers, the people that's supposed to be riding with you, that's weak. Putting him on a pedestal when he don't even put you on one at all is weak. You knowing that you really stressed and pressed because you're not really getting the help that you feel like you need is weak. You getting on here putting on the front and stunting and flexing with that fake ass ring is weak. You allowing baby number 2 to do you just like number 1 did you, boo, is weak. You haven't learned from your mistakes. Never would you ever learn from your mistakes because you are still doing them today. That's weak. You getting on here thinking that you can control the narrative of how people express themselves on this internet, on this app, is weak. Because you can only be in control of you. You can't be in control of what others do. So you need to only worry about you and what you're doing on your channel and not what somebody else is saying on theirs. You shouldn't be notification gang to see what somebody have to say if it bothers you that much and gives them that much power for you to make a live and say what you're tired of and what you're not going to tolerate. When you don't even treat your kids with respect or even show that you love them or even give them any type of affection, you cringe anytime they come around. You always frowning. But somebody put a battery in your back and told you to get on live and talk like that. Therefore, you wanted to make sense. I made it make sense for you. Okay? Because that weak talk that you was talking when you are the weakest leak, you need to understand something. Until you do right by your kids, you always going to be talked about, and you can't control the narrative of what somebody got to say about you because we live in a free world. We live in America, so we can express ourselves. And if you don't like it, love it, you don't have to, but you're going to respect it or just don't tune in. It's just as simple as that.